Hello and welcome to the Daily Mastermind. We all have the ability to change. We are not stuck with who we are because of who we've been. Uh, Developing good habits has the power to take us from where we are in life to where we want to be in life. And today we're discussing just that. We're discussing ways to develop healthy new habits that will propel you forward in any facet in life. So grab a seat, grab something to drink, and have a conversation with us. This is the Daily Mastermind. Happy Wednesday, and today I'm joined by the lovely CEO and founder of Itopia Coaching and Consulting. The beautiful Claire is with us. Carl is not here today. He had to take a trip to LA, so he will not be joining us. Today, it is just me and this lovely young lady here, and we're talking about developing good habits. Remember, this is the last week the show will be on all of my other platforms. It will only be on Itopia Coaching on YouTube starting Monday. So if you guys want to keep up with the show, make sure you shoot on over to Itopia Coaching and subscribe and hang in and continue on with the show. Good morning, babe.
Good morning. I want to say hi to everybody, but in particular, I want to send lots of love to Shauna. I've been thinking of you since yesterday, so just wanted you to know that.
Indeed, we want to send our love out to Shauna Jones. Hope everything is going good and that you're hanging in there, man. Our hearts are with you and our thoughts are with you as well. So today we're talking about developing healthy habits, and Claire is an expert at habit development and execution. So I'm going to let her take it away and we're going to have us a conversation. Make sure you guys tune in, drop some comments. If you have questions, put them in there and we'll get to them near the end of the show. Babe, talk to us about habits and habit development.
I think the first thing that we need to determine when we want to develop habits is what's our why. It's great to say that we want to develop a habit of some sort, but we need to ask ourselves why we want to develop the habit. Is it because we truly want to develop the habit, or is it because we are facing pressure from somebody else to develop the habit? So that's the first thing I would say, is make sure that the new habit that you want to develop is for yourself and you're not doing it for somebody else. For example, if someone says to you that you have to lose weight or that you have to quit smoking or something like that, it's typically not going to work if you're doing it because of pressure from someone else. If you love the weight that you're at, or if you love smoking, I personally am not into smoking myself, but if you love smoking, and someone says, you must quit smoking, that's not going to work because nobody likes being told what to do. So you have to determine what is your why behind developing a healthy habit or a habit of any form. So that's the first thing I would say that you have to do.
Develop a why. Don't do it for somebody else. Don't do it because somebody else wants you to do it. Do it because you want to, and develop a why. It's a great way to start.
So that's the first thing I would do. And then I would actually write down, what is it, the habit you're doing today that you don't like? And then figure out what the trigger is for the habit. So a lot of people might not necessarily know the trigger. So if I can give you an example of my previous corporate life. So my habit was, I used to have a lot of clients that were not the nicest of clients on the planet. And so they used to upset me because they'd be quite abusive to my staff, or they were very assertive in their mannerism, and I didn't like it. So what did I do? First thing I did is I'd go to the store and I'd go buy chocolate chip cookies and I'd eat it because it made me feel better because I'm a chocolate chip cookie monster, right? But then I realized what the trigger was. The trigger is, I'm not happy. Somebody's being abusive to me. I now want sugar. So you have to write down what it is, the habit is that you've got that you don't like, but also why are you doing it in the first place? Because a lot of people don't realize why they're doing it.
Right, because there's an identifying trigger that you can find that will lead you to another behavior. And if by identifying the trigger, you can identify the behavior and then identify how to stop it.
Yeah. And so what I would do is I would just get a piece of paper and say, okay, I'm eating chocolate chip cookies. What is the trigger? What time of day is it? Who is making me trigger it? That kind of thing. So just basically bring an awareness as to why you're doing it. Write that down, and then write down, well, in my case, I was like, well, I'm not a performing monkey. I'm actually doing this because people are pissing me off. I am now developing this chocolate chip cookie habit because of somebody else's behavior. Therefore, I now want to change this behavior. I'm not saying I'm never going to have a chocolate chip cookie again, but I shouldn't be doing it because of a trigger of someone else's behavior. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. So, folks, grab yourself a pen and paper and write these steps down, because these things are going to help you. One thing that I've come to find through my studies is ask yourself always, is this essential? So when we eliminate the unessential, we benefit from doing essential things better. Doing the essential things in our life makes everything that we do better because we eliminate unessential things. So if you have things in your life that you attend to on a daily basis that are not important, they're unessential in your life, in your development, and you don't need them, cut them out. Identify if it's necessary or if it's unnecessary. And if it's unnecessary, let it go. And that opens up room for the necessary. Agreed?
100%.
Nice.
So what I would say is, once you've identified what the habit is that you want to stop, what the trigger is, you now need to come up with, well, what is my new habit that I want, and how can I replace the trigger? So instead of, this client pissed me off, I now want, pardon me, now I want chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to say, hey, I acknowledge this client pissed me off, but instead of the chocolate chip cookies, I'm going to go for a walk around the block, or I'm going to do whatever it is. And then that is how you start to change your mindset into wanting to form the good habit.
Facts.
The other thing that's really important to note, so contrary to popular belief, there's a myth going on saying that habits take only 21 days to form. Well, actually, in 2009, London College University, I believe it was, that did the study, determined that it actually takes 66 days to form a habit. So what you need to do is identify, okay, this is the habit that I want to change. This is what I want to develop. But realize the first 22 days, you're going to feel like euphoric. Hey, you're going to be really great for the first few days, like joining the gym, right? On the 1st of January, you're all gung-ho for the first 6-7 days. And then you start dropping off and you start dropping off. That's what happens.
Dropping the ball.
That's what happens in the first 22 days. You're up and down and up and down. And then the next 22 days, they're starting to kind of formulate a little bit. And then by the end of the 66 days, you've now rewired your brain to actually have it as an actual lifestyle now. Now it's a habit. So
habit becomes a personality.
Exactly. So what I would say is, if you want to develop a healthy habit, give yourself a 66-day challenge. Create a wall chart or something where you write it down, 1 to day 66, and recognize you're going to fall along the way. That's part of the process. That's not an excuse to give up, right? But you have to write it down. If you don't write it down, it's just a wish. It's not going to happen. You need to write it down and recognize and celebrate your successes along the way. Like, hey, I made it 7 days of not eating cookies or not smoking or whatever it is. Hey, now I'm on day 10 or I'm on day 14 and so forth. Recognize your successes as you go. Don't
celebrate the successes.
Yeah.
Yes. And show up daily. This is another thing. A lot of times we superhumanize our future selves. Like, well, next week I'll be in a better position to take care of this, or next month I'll be able to pull this off more because I'll have this off my plate. And superhumanizing ourselves in the future sense creates procrastination, because we see the tomorrow us as somehow better than the today us.
Yeah. And
so we put things off, like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. So show up daily. Understand that it's all within your power and that you can do it. Another good thing, I think, that piggybacks off what you were saying was wake up early. Mm-hmm. You can wake up early, ignore the phone for the first hour of the day. Ignore it. Make that a habit, to ignore any outside influence for the first hour that you're awake. Wake up early, own the morning, and you'll own the day. And ignore everything that happens with your stuff in the morning. Do your most creative and important tasks first, and then limit your calendar to just 3 things a day. I think this is a good habit that Ryan Holiday puts forth quite a bit, is Only have 3 things in your calendar for the day, and then develop the habitual process of doing the same things every day, but do them with purpose. So
Mhm.
wake up, read, journal, study, spend time with your loved one, isolate yourself for the first hour of the day. And if you have to go somewhere, get up an hour earlier,
Yeah.
so that you can still focus on the first hour of your day, and limit yourself to 3 things. Only put 3 things in your calendar a day and itemize them in order of importance and necessity. Do your hardest one first, get that done. It's going to build up a winning attitude and a winning spirit. And then knock off the other 2, and the rest of the day is yours. What would you say about the 3-day
Ab-
approach?
Absolutely. And I would also say as well that the biggest lie we all tell ourselves is that we don't have enough time. We all say that. But the thing is, we've all got the same 24 hours in a day. So the biggest lie a lot of us will tell ourselves is that we don't have time to go to the gym. But did you know if you just went to the gym for half an hour in a day, that's only 4% of 24 hours. You can find half an hour to go to the gym or go for a walk, whatever it is. So we have to also call ourselves out on our own excuses as well. And if you can call yourself out on your excuses, then you can start finding time to develop the habits that you were just discussing in the morning. And I would also say as well, don't do a big bang approach. Don't say, I'm going to change these 15 things right now, because you're going to fail. Anytime you want to set a habit, 2 at a time. That's the most. 2 at a time at the absolute most. Because if you overwhelm yourself, it's going to be like, I just don't want to do it, and so forth. So, and also you don't need to do the big bang approach, instead of getting up at, from now on, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., and your normal routine is to wake up at 6:30 a.m. Okay. Well, every day, set your clock back now, 6:15, 6 o'clock, go back. Don't just start a big bang approach and go, hey, I'm going to wake out of bed, Susie Sunshine, at 5 a.m. and like, I'm going to change my life and so forth. Because that'll be good for about 1 or 2 days. And then 3 days later, your body's going to be like, I don't like this shit.
Even if you set your alarm just 5 minutes earlier every morning, if you think about that, after 10 days, you've gained an hour.
Yeah.
You're at 50 minutes. You've gained an hour. So now you're getting up an hour early after 10 days, and it becomes a habit. So then you start to cultivate getting up earlier, and it's absolute wisdom. If you own the morning, you'll own the day.
I think the other thing as well, sorry to interrupt you, we are all guilty. We are all guilty of swiping and scrolling our lives away. We are all guilty of this. And I would challenge all of us to, what is so damn important that we have to pick up our phone first thing in the morning and scroll mindlessly and so forth. And before you go to bed at night, 80% of people pick up their phone 5 minutes before they turn the light up to go to sleep at night. What is so important that we're scrolling and swiping our lives away? And if we think about the bigger picture, imagine if this was the last day that we had on earth as individuals. I know it's pretty morbid to think about, but imagine if this was your last day on earth. Was it worth ignoring your partner or your loved one or taking a call with a friend or something? Was it worth it? Was all that swiping worth it?
I think, Rick Parr, you've got the formula down, my guy. Your life doesn't seem boring to me at all. He says, I get up, go to work, come home, see same, bed, no time for habits. And happy birthday to your significant other, by the way, which was yesterday, to see same. A happy birthday out there. I think, Rick Parr, I think you may actually have it down. You seem very well happy in life, and your habits are good. You say that you don't have a habit, but that's a habit. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you talk to your woman, you go to bed. That's a habit, and that is a healthy habit. You're happy in life, and that's what makes you happy. And piggybacking off of the phone thing is, don't be so reachable.
Yes.
We're also accessible to our phones and emails and calendars and computers, and we wonder why we never get anything done. But Napoleon was famous for not opening his mail for 3 weeks because he understood that most problems will solve themselves. And if you make it so that you're not so reachable, you don't have to, you're not at anybody else's beck and call. Your life is then in your own control, and don't make yourself so reachable. That's another part of ignoring the phone, I would say, for the first hour of your day and the last hour of your day. I think it's a good habit to have. Another one.
Studies have shown actually that the blue light from technology is actually rewiring our attention spans and so forth. So you can actually, I don't know about Android phones, but on iPhones, you can actually turn your iPhone to grayscale. And studies have shown if you turn your iPhone to grayscale, you're less likely to pick it up because all the pretty lights and all the so forth, there's no reward picking it up. It's just gray, it's boring.
And I just learned about this. She had just told me this. Like, I think The Rock keeps his phone in grayscale because these things are developed with little lights and sounds that attract you. You become addicted to them, and you think that it makes your life easier, but when in fact it's just psychologically pulling you in and keeping you stuck like a magnet.
And just remember as well, like just say to yourself, do you want to be a performing monkey? Do you want to be the performing monkey that responds to these apps that have purposely been developed to get your attention and so forth? Do you want to be their performing monkey?
As we learned from Dom Einhorn a few shows ago, some of these app developers have teams of psychologists that work to make it as sticky as possible so that you'll get addicted as possible. And I would also say on my last one that I would personally say, and that's something I've used to great success in my life, is to learn a system and follow it. Don't try to create your own system because it's like taking nothing and trying to create something out of it, and you'll get stuck in the process of creating a system. There's so many good systems out there that are available for organizing your life and developing habits. Find one. Most of them are good. Even if it's not the most popular, most of them are good. There's a whole bunch of good systems out there. So I would say learn a system.
And you know what the best system is, because most systems are an app, right? So the best system is a pen and a piece of paper.
It is. It really is.
And you're not going to be inclined to, look at the cool app and all the cool features and all this kind of stuff,
And I like what Rick says. He says it's not a habit, actually. It's a necessity. In my opinion, if I don't live my life this way, then I would go back to nasty habits. I mean, we're playing semantics with words at this point, but it goes back to what I said by identifying the essentials. If you identify your process, we'll call it your process for the day, and it's essential, then you're doing the right thing. You're living your life on your terms, the way you want to, by what makes you happy. Alan Matfield says, hold up, let me get this. All right, I'm battling with Amos here. He says, I try and keep just a few channels on e-news from the USA because I know what happens there will come to the UK. News is another thing. News is a whole nother beast. I tried to stay up with the news, but I find the more I pay attention to news, the more habitually my mind is distracted from what I want to do in my life and what I want to pursue, because then I get caught up in Amber Heard and Johnny Depp are in court and battling.
And also, just think about this as well. If you put the news on, do you notice every presenter, no matter what country in the world, no matter what station you're on, they all start out with good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and then proceed to tell you why it's shit and it's not good.
Right.
We never say the nice stories. And I personally choose to believe there's more goodness in this world than bad. And I think about all these countries. We have 198 countries in this world, and we got a 15-minute news loop. Come on, there's more something.
All the same stuff.
They get all bad. Come on, there's so much goodness in this world. So personally, I don't tap into it. I'll tap into the headlines. In terms of celebrities, have a great life, people. But again, if it's my last day on earth, do I want to spend my time learning about Johnny Depp or Amber Heard or who? No, I mean, have a great life. I wish you the greatest happiness.
And you know what? That's the memento mori philosophy of the Stoics. Keep death at the forefront of your mind. This could be your last day on earth. Let that determine the way that you speak, think, and act. You want to go out on your best note so you can strive every day to just be the best that you can do and do the best you can. We have plenty of resources available on the website, itopiacoaching.com. Claire has laid down some amazing processes for you if you need to develop good habits. There's some amazing things in there, and there's a lot of more things that are in the works with Itopia Coaching that we're going to be doing, including we're looking into doing retreats.
Mhm.
So we would love it if people wanted to engage and learn how to just make the most of your life. Go check out itopiacoaching.com. Amos just dropped the link.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
I want to be very. I want to come right out and say this as well. You know, we coaches, these people like me, I'm a professional coach, can come off like we have all the answers, like we know everything and so forth. I want you to know that everything with Itopia, all of my programs I've written and so forth. Yes, okay, I went to school for coaching, but at the same time, I have fallen down more times than I can count. I have screwed up, fallen down, scraped my nose, had my face down in the arena. I have, in a nutshell, excuse the French, fucked up so much. And it's because of those fuck ups that I have been able to apply everything I learned in school into programs and so forth. So I just want you to know, I'm like, not like, hey, I've got all the habits down pat and I'm amazing and perfect. No, it's because of my screw ups is why Itopia was founded.
Yeah, the obstacle is the way. You have to fall to learn how to get back up and learn to take those lessons, and that's how we grow. So we're gonna end this one early, guys. We have to run and take our cat to the vet this morning. Got a vet appointment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you found something helpful from this video today. Develop good habits. It's going to be really good. Carlos Uwari comes in at the last moment. It's good to see you, my friend. Share the video. Invite people to come and partake in the healthy habits that we're trying to instill for people. Babe, last words of the day. I will let you go for it.
Last words are I've been brainstorming on this for a little while now. So I'm a voracious reader. I like to read a lot. I study a lot of psychology and so forth. And you know, it's useless to have all the knowledge and not share it. You know, it's great. I can apply it to my own life, but I'd love to share what I learn each day. And life has been a challenge in the last 12 months. It's good, but there's been some challenges and so forth. And I've learned and grown a lot as well. And I'm thinking of potentially doing like a nightcap with Claire video every night. And so I just wanted to know if you guys would be interested in hearing, you know, thoughts of the day or nightcaps with me, you know, talk about what I've learned, the things I've gone through and so forth. And I'm just wondering if that would be of interest. So if you could drop some notes and let me know if that would be of some interest, that would be great. In the meantime, have an amazing and beautiful day. And I know it sounds morbid, but just try to think if this was your last day today on earth, if the things you're putting your attention to, is it worth it? And if it's not worth it, then put your attention somewhere else. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Nightcap with Claire sounds like a plan to me. It looks like Shauna would love it. Says that sounds great. I think it would be awesome. Let us know in the comment section if you're interested in Claire doing a nightcap show. I think it would be excellent because she ingests so much knowledge. She reads so many books, and she has a bunch of great things to share. And we're all about sharing and growing and learning together because that's just what we're called to do. I would say, for my final words, ladies and gentlemen, don't drop the ball. Right? If something falls on your radar, finish it. Hold that standard to 100% excellence because it's all within your control. And don't let it go. Everything falls apart if you let your task go unfinished. So if you commit to doing something, be impeccable with your word to yourself. Don't drop the ball. Finish it no matter what it takes. Get it done. Finish it. Identify it as necessary or unnecessary and do the necessary things. Commit to those things. And that will become a habit. Success will become a habit. Completion will become a habit. Productivity will become a habit. And that's how you can do that and live a better, more fulfilled and happy life and optimize the fun, guys. Make sure you optimize the fun. If you know, make it fun. Do whatever you're going to do and make it fun in life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to my beautiful, beautiful co-host, Claire. We love all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be back with Dom Einhorn and a whole new topic on the Daily Mastermind. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.